Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Grace and peace, everybody. Good afternoon. Today is Friday, February the 15th, 2023. And listen, we're going to be talking about Fani Williams again. My sister Sheila, she already saying that, hey, she don't want to keep talking about this woman. Grace and peace, how y'all doing? All right. So, man, what's going on with Rumble? I don't know what's going on with Rumble. Hold on, let me see. It's supposed to be live streaming from Rumble as well, but for some reason it ain't doing it. Well, anyway, thank you guys for showing up to the live stream. This is gonna be a pretty quick article, and and the reason why I want to share this or touch on this particular article right now, like I said, it's pretty short. I'm not gonna keep you guys too long. Is because this is kind of tying into all of the stuff that I've been covering, considering this case. And the reason why I'm touching on this is because y'all remember that I did a live stream a few live streams back where Fani probably got, well, is it Fani or Fanny, whatever? She got up in front of a pulpit, church pulpit, and she was talking about how, she was being, targeted because she's a black woman and she hired a black man and all of this type of stuff. So anyway, a judge, I guess the judge that's kind of like presiding over the case, kind of slammed her for that, for doing that. So that's why I'm touching on this. And then plus yesterday, I did another live stream concerning Donald Trump. And yeah, she did it at several pulpits. And I did a video yesterday, a live stream, talking about Donald Trump, how some of the charges against him has been dropped because of this whole Fani Williams or Fannie Williams, debacle. And I was asking a question like, do you think that all of the charges are going to be dropped because of what's happening with this whole particular Fani Williams case? So it's some interesting stuff going on right now, and that's one of the reasons why I'm taking the time to cover this, because I want, I want to try to put everything in perspective, because I think that these things are pretty important, especially when it comes to the body of Christ, especially when people are involving the body of Christ. Because I think that sometimes, we can kind of duck our heads in the sand and just be like, I don't want to hear about that. That's political stuff. And I just, let's just leave the whole thing alone. But then when these decisions are made and then we're unaware that some of these decisions are made. And when people start to drum this stuff back up years later and say, well, if you look at a particular situation now, based on something that was done 2-3 years ago, that people are just like, okay, well, when did all of this happen? So I think that it's good to bring these things out, and it's good for us to kind of be on, I wouldn't say be on top of it too much, but to kind of have an ear to how certain things are happening in politics as it correlates to the body of Christ. So therefore, we don't be blind and oblivious to when we see people trying to, basically trying to fleece believers by using politics. So therefore we could be able to say, okay, we see what's going on here. We know the trick bag. Let's go ahead and avoid that. Let's go ahead and call it out because somebody has already tried to do this. So let's go ahead and call it out. And therefore we know how to properly address it. Grace and peace, LaChat, she says she's still in the case though. Is she concerned about what the judge said? I think not. Yeah, I think we go kind of cover that as well. And grace and peace, Daryl Lloyd. Grace and peace, he gets that horn because he is a member. Let's go ahead and give him a hand clap as well. Grace and peace to everybody who was watching, you know, whether on YouTube, Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter, Facebook. All of you guys go ahead and hit that like button, as we get ready to get into this particular article, which is from Fox News. Hold on one second. I just want to go ahead and pull up my Instagram. I want to see, do we have anybody watching so I can go ahead and shout them out as well. All right. Grace and peace to my cousin, Donovan, who's watching from Instagram. All right. Let's go ahead and read this article. This is from Fox News. I know some of y'all are just like, you know, come on, when it comes to Fox News, y'all ain't really feeling Fox. But this, like I said, this article is very short. It just came out today, a couple of hours ago. And I just want to go ahead and read the facts. All right, read the facts. Oh, wait, hold on. What did Sheila say? She says just because she's sleeping around doesn't impact the Trump case. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. She said it. She said it doesn't. She said it doesn't impact the Trump case. I don't know. Let's just continue to watch. All right. Oh, grace and peace, Big Nate, who is also a member. And you know what? Before I go on, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Sister Sheila, she's a supporter of the channel too. But you know what? She's going to get the horn and she's going to get the long clap. How about that? All right, let's go ahead and start on this particular article from Fox News. All right. The judge in former President Trump's Georgia election interference case has allowed District Attorney Fani Willis to continue leading the prosecution. But he said her racially charged rhetoric about, quote, playing the race card was, quote unquote, legally improper. All right. He said it's legally improper. Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee issued a ruling that quashed a motion from one of the case's 19 defendants seeking to remove Fani Willis from the case due to her alleged improper affair with special counsel Nathan Wade. Also, man, I forgot to ask this question, which is that live poll in the chat, only on YouTube. Let's go ahead and get our Jeopardy music out and see what y'all think. I'm asking, did Fani Willis play the race card? So far, 60% of you say yes, 0% of you say no, 20% of you say maybe, and another 20% of you say that you do not care. Bruh. All right, so some of y'all, I already know who said that they don't care. That's Sister Sheila. Because you already know how she feel about Fani, you know. She's not a Christian! All right. McAfee ruled that an insufficient amount of evidence was provided to justify the removal of Willis outright, but he ordered Wade must be fired for the district attorney to continue without, quote, the appearances impropriety, end quotes. Otherwise, Willis must step down. So wait, so hold on. Oh, actually, I ain't played this sound in a minute. So hold on. So Fani Willis must fire her side piece, the AKA jump off. Y'all know for any of y'all who grew up back in the early 2000s. But so, and from what I'm hearing, I know that brother Jason from Dear Woke Christian was covering this morning. And I think Sheila was talking about this. She says just because she's sleeping around doesn't impact the Trump case. Oh, okay. So Sheila said, yep. So she got to fire her side piece in order for her to continue the case. Is that what I'm hearing? But this is my thing, though. Okay. So she's being given an ultimatum. From what I'm hearing so far, she's been given an ultimatum to fire her side piece, hire somebody else, so she can continue the indictment case on Trump. Because what's so interesting about that is because if the shoe was on the other foot, let's just say it was somebody who was a Republican trying to put a case against Joe Biden. And let's just say the same exact scenario, but let's just switch party sides. Would this be the same outcome? Would that person who is trying to put a case on Joe Biden, who's caught in the same situation as Fani Willis, would they go ahead and dismiss the case because of all of these discrepancies? Or would the outcome be the same? Or is the only thing, or is the only reason why they're trying to continue with this case against Donald Trump is because, I don't know, I sometimes I be trying not to put my tinfoil hat on too tight, but sometimes I can't help it. Sometimes I get that tinfoil hat, and I done turned that tinfoil hat into a sombrero. Because I'm like, man, it's all speculation from now, for now. But inquiring minds want to wonder. Man, Sheila Mahone says the only thing she did wrong was hire her side piece. So maybe. Bruh. All right. Let's just continue. Let's just continue. In this order, McAfee separately took issue with a speech made by Willis at an Atlanta church in January of this year when she claimed she and Wade were being scrutinized because of their race. And y'all know that I covered that too. Right? Y'all know I covered that. Hold on. Sheila says that he's a crook. I'm sorry. Sheila Mahone says he's guilty. And Stevie Rankin says that Trump is a crook. Bruh. Oof. Grace of Peace, his servant, S. A conservative DA would be in jail for contempt and lying, among other things. And in a way, I kind of agree. Now, this isn't about whether I support Trump or Biden or anything like that. But I do believe, and another reason, the main reason why I'm trying to point this stuff out is because I want to show people that our justice system is not fair. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Don't think that the justice system is going to be fair against you just because you're a Christian. Don't think that there's no one that you can put in office that is going to be fair when it comes to the judicial system. Unless that person is appointed by God. So that's why I don't want, that's why I tell Christians to kind of, be careful with hopping into these political conversations. Getting too deep into it to where you think that one side is more righteous than the other. So don't think that the government is going to bail you out. Because, if we can kind of see this corruption and stuff going on right now, allegedly, but if we can kind of see some discrepancies happening and certain things don't seem like that the scales are evenly weighted, just keep that in the back of your mind. All right? Grace and peace, brother Spanish Fly. Grace and peace. While Willis later claimed not to be referring to the defendants in their accusations of racism, McAfee warned that such distinction was not clear. Quote, in these public and televised comments, the district attorney complained that a Fulton County commissioner and so many others, quote unquote, questioned her decision to hire SADA Wade. When referring to her detractors throughout the speech, she frequently utilized the plural "quote unquote" they. The state argues that the speech was not aimed at any of the defendants in the case. Maybe so, maybe not. Therein lies the danger of public comment by a prosecuting attorney, McAfee wrote. How many of y'all believe that that's dangerous for her to go in front of that church and kind of insinuate that the reason why she's going through this is because she feels like it's quote unquote racism? Now, me personally, I covered that in another live stream, talked about that. I personally believe that it was dangerous because I think that you're kind of using your power, especially in this case, your political power, to kind of sway people's emotions away from what's actually being said in the case to where now you want to turn this into a black and white issue. Now you want to try to insinuate in so many words that, well, they're only doing this because I'm a black woman and he's a black man. You see? And I think that what happens is that in a way, it kind of creates this narrative of fake outrage. So therefore, they're coming after me because I'm black, not because, I've kind of been taking taxpayers' money, black and white. Let's just be clear on that. Black and white taxpayers' money to do some foul stuff, allegedly, with my power, in so many words, so to speak. I'm able to allegedly take taxpayer funds and go on lavish vacations with a married man and kind of turn this man's household upside down. Not saying that it's just totally her fault, because I mean, Nathan Wade has a hand in this too, because he really did not have to go and sleep around with this woman. Grace and peace, brother Rick from Caldwell Apologetics. Listen, y'all go ahead and subscribe to brother Rick Caldwell at Caldwell Apologetics, because him and Sister April and brother Jason of Deer Road Christian, like they know the ins and outs of this case. They've been following up with this and giving you guys like detail, up to the date information. I'm just scratching the surface. All right. So if you guys want to know exactly what's kind of going on, these people, especially brother Rick Caldwell of Caldwell Apologetics, is covering this in detail. All right. But back out, but we already know Sister Sheila. We already know. And listen, I'm gonna go ahead and give her another hand clap. Sister Sheila is really a huge supporter of all of our channels. I mean, she come in here, she talk her mess. She come in here and talk that mess, but she gonna support. But yeah, man. But yeah, like I was saying before I go ahead and get back into this article, I think that it is really dangerous when a person, and this happens so much, especially in our community, because we know how to kind of guide people emotionally. And she knows that she can go in front of a black church, say whatever she wants, and people are going to believe it based on her skin color, not based on the facts. Because, for some reason, listen, I love my black people. I love y'all. But I think that sometimes we really got to start, I think we really just got to start thinking about some stuff. I mean, we really got to start putting our emotions aside and really start saying, hey, man, yeah, you're in a position of political power. But at the same time, number one, you're not really doing anything to help our communities. That's number one. Because Fani Willis, she's not really doing anything to benefit the black community. Because nobody has heard of her doing anything for the black community. At least I haven't. And I'm here in Georgia. She's not doing anything for the black community. But as soon as she get into some trouble, she go running straight to the church, just like I've seen a lot of politicians in, especially here in Atlanta, do. Burrell Ellis did the same thing when he was under investigation for fraud in DeKalb County as a DeKalb County CEO. You know? And it's like, that's the first thing they do. They go run into the black church, and I ain't really that person that they telling me that they portraying to y'all out there in the media. But I ain't never said I was perfect. But that ain't me. They only really doing this because they really don't want to see too many of us in politics. Because this is what I'm going to ask a question for those who have been following up on this case. Has she made a decision yet to kind of say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Nathan Wade in order so I can continue to prosecute the Trump case? Or has she basically said that, nope, if you want me to get rid of him, we both gonna walk? You know, if you want to get rid of the black man, you got to get rid of the black woman too.
And I'm black, y'all.
You know?
And I'm blacker than black.
Are you going to get rid of the black man and the black woman? Fist up. These racists, they already trying to come against me because I'm black. Or is she going to kind of stay, get rid of Nathan Wade? Is she going to, I got to play the music again. Is she going to get rid of the black man just so she can prosecute the white man for the white man? That's going to be the question right there. She's going to get rid of the black man to stay on, to stay in government under the white man to prosecute the white man. I'm just saying. Let's continue. But as I'm asking these questions, but you can see how redundant some of this stuff is, especially when people are, playing the race card. Are you going to keep it 100? Are you going to be consistent? That's why I'm just like, man, don't. That's why when people want to play the race card and all of that stuff, I'm like, you're not being consistent. You're really not. The judge found that Willis's reference to, quote unquote, so many others in her speech at the church left ambiguous to who she was accusing of racial motivations, coming dangerously close to compromising the case. Oof. He went on to complain about the district attorney's own continued references to the race of individuals involved in the case. Quote, more at issue, instead of attributing the criticisms to a criminal accused general aversion to being convicted and facing a prison sentence, the district attorney ascribed the effort was motivated by playing the race card, end quote, McAfee wrote. And that's what I was just saying. That's what I was just saying. I'm just like, she didn't want to talk about the issue of criticism. All of the criticisms that she was getting, she wanted to try to make it seem like that they were just playing a race card, and that's the reason why she was up under fire. Oh, man, thank you, Spanish Fly. Thank you. Grace and peace, man. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Let me see. Brother Rick says Nathan Wade is about to be a sacrificial lamb. Valerie Parker says, I don't think she will step down from the case. Too much pride. Yeah, I don't think so either. She's a boss chick. All right. She got that position. She ain't about to lose that boss chick position from anyone. But however, and I'm going to prophesy right now. I'm going to prophesy that she's probably, after this case, let's just say, no matter which way that this case goes with Donald Trump, I believe that she's out of there either way. After this whole Trump situation, I'm going to prophesy. I'm prophesying. Again, prophesy. After the elections, I don't think that she's going to be there. By this time next year, I don't believe that Fani Willis is actually going to be in this position. Whether they oust her or whether they make her resign or what. So if she stays where she is, And she says, okay, I don't want Nathan Wade. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of him so I can keep this position. By this time next year, win or lose, she's out of there. She's out of there. Yeah, Rick says, charismatic Alton is in here. I'm telling you, man. Hey, listen, I got to let y'all, I got to let y'all know when that spirit moving sometimes. Sometimes I'll be feeling that spirit. Quote, she went on to frequently refer to SADA Wade as the black man. As the black man. While her other unchallenged SADAs were labeled one white woman and one white man. The effect of this speech was to cast racial aspersions at an indicted defendant's decision to profile this pretrial motion. Despite Fani Willis' speech, quote unquote, legally improper, McAfee ruled that the questionable statements regarding the race did not deny the defendant's, quote, opportunity for a fundamentally fair trial, end quote. Quotes, the court cannot find that this speech crossed the lines of the point to where the defendants have been denied the opportunity for a fundamentally fair trial, or that it requires the district attorney's disqualification, McAfee wrote. But it was still legally improper, providing this type of public comment creates dangerous waters for the district attorney to wade further into, end quote. It has not yet been announced whether Willis will fire Wade or step down from the trial. But okay, so this is my thing too, with this particular judge. All right, so why even bring this up if you're saying that basically what the judge is saying is that nothing can be done, but I guess he just wanted to kind of put it out there like it was improper. But he said it's legally improper. So if really there's nothing that you can do about it, then why even bring it up? Unless he just want to put that out there for the record. So therefore, again, depending on which way that this trial goes with the whole Donald Trump thing, they can use that against her later. That could be it. He's probably saying that right now, I can't do anything about it. But after this case, and after we want to make a decision on her later, besides all of this Trump stuff, they could probably pull that up and say, this is the type of person that we're dealing with. You see what I'm saying? But, again, I'm really just trying to point out of how you see how our judicial system operates. It's really not a fair system. So, and I want to remind Christians, especially around this time of the election, we got to be careful. We definitely got to be careful about who we're just digging our heels in the sand for and saying, this is who I'm voting for. No matter what, this person can do no wrong because this person is against said presidential candidate. I don't like this candidate over here, and I lean more towards this one. So therefore, anybody that's against this particular candidate that I'm leaning toward, I'm against them. And anybody who's against the presidential candidate, I'm with them. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, is basically what I'm saying. So you gotta be able to look at the good and the bad on both sides. As Christians, we always got to be able to have those scales weighted equally and fairly. Don't just ride with Trump just because, you team MAGA and, you Republican and I don't care what they say. I'm still voting for Trump. Trump ain't never did nothing wrong. Or if you're on the other side, I don't like Trump. Can't stand Trump. So therefore, Fani Willis and anybody else, they can't do any wrong. We don't need to fall into that. Because what's going to happen if they start to kind of drop the hammer down on Christians? Because I'm telling you, I read a lot of these articles where, for instance, you got some people that are, some Christian people who are being thrown in prison. They getting ready to do football numbers for standing in front of an abortion clinic. This is really not making national news. All right. I know plenty of brothers and sisters personally who have been arrested for staying within their legal limits, whether it's standing outside and open air preaching or passing out tracts in front of a certain location. The cops say you need to be on this side of the street during these particular times, and they lay out all of these stipulations, and these brothers and sisters have followed these guidelines by the T, and sometimes went above and beyond to say, if they told us to stay 100 yards from this particular building, we're going to stay 200 yards, and the cops still turn around and arrest them anyway. I had a brother of mine, the FBI came to his house and picked him up. They came to his house. FBI. He was standing in front of an abortion clinic, open air preaching in New Jersey. Exactly where the cops told him to be at. He left there, went home. The FBI came to his house like a few days later and picked him up in front of his family. You would have thought that the man had committed a murder because you had all types of FBI vans and unmarked cars outside, came and picked him up, took him to jail. He spent 2 days in jail and they turned around and released him. Still don't know what the outcome of that was. So I'm saying that there's certain things that's happening out there that's not being put out there in the mainstream. But I want to let y'all know, when it comes to the government system, do not put all of your eggs in the basket when it comes to them. When it comes to them, don't do that. Keep in mind, you see how they're operating with this case? Keep in mind, they can do the same thing to you. All right. But as always, like I said, Christ is always on the throne. He's always been there, and he's going to continue to be there. But at the same time, we got to be discerning. When you got somebody like Fani Willis standing up in front of pulpits and all of this stuff here.
She's not a Christian!
She's able to stand up and talk about, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. And, all of these silly pastors letting a person like her stand in front of their pulpit to, quote unquote, preach to their sermons on Sundays. And I've already laid this out of my last live stream, so I'm not going to really get back into that. But these silly pastors who are giving this lady the mic to preach in front of their pulpits, we got to be able to call that out as well. We definitely got to show where there's stark error in some of these churches. And just like I've been creating my live series, Dividing the Lines, this is where we got to start dividing these lines. We got to start dividing these lines. Sister Sheila says that she doesn't know what it means. Since y'all like that song, let me go ahead and play it one more time.
She's not a Christian!
But anyway, man, let me go ahead and get ready to get up out of here. But before we do, I am going to read off the last... I'm going to read off these poll stats before we get ready to get up out of here. But listen, y'all go ahead, hit that like button no matter where you're watching from. Rumble, X, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. I want all of you guys to go ahead and hit that like button. So let me go ahead and read this live poll before we get up out of here. Only on YouTube. I'm asking, did Fani play the race card when she got up in front of that
She's
church
not a Christian!
and was preaching about how she feels like that the system is trying to come against her. Did she play the race card when she did that? So far, 59% of you say yes, 6% of you say no, 24% of you say maybe, and another 12% of you, Sheila Mahone, says that you do not care. All right? So, but anyway, thank y'all for showing up. And, you know, and as always, I'm getting ready to get up out of here. Y'all like this video, rate it, share it, subscribe. Again, hit that notifications bell so whenever I get ready to go live, you guys would know exactly when I'm getting ready to go live. You know, 30 minutes before, a few minutes before, you get that notification. And whenever I drop a video, you'll get a notification to let y'all know that I've dropped a video so you guys can be on top of these topics. So therefore, when I go live, you'll already know what I've already said, what my position is. So therefore, I don't have to get emails or comments later saying, Alton, you didn't touch on this. Alton, what do you think about that? I've already done a video about it. But you hit that notifications bell, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I go live. All right, listen, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day, and I will see you guys next time. Lord willing, peace.